Yep.
All right.
Let's go on. Let's stop talking about foreign policy.
Okay. Let's go to
Let,
conspiracy theories.
let's go.
A few weeks ago, maybe it was two or three. This old man, this like 108-year-old, I forget how fucking old he is, from Argentina, said he was Adolf Hitler. Looks exactly like my. I wish I had a picture to show you, but it looks almost real. It looks too. It looks almost too good to be true.
Where'd you say he was from?
Argentina.
All right, I'm gonna look it up. Argentina. Hitler.
Or just Argentina man claims he's Hitler.
Okay.
And you can correct me on the age if you want.
Google's not talking about it. That's interesting.
It was pretty big like a few weeks ago, and it just died out because it's a cycle.
What do you want to know? You want to know if I believe in it? My thoughts. I mean,
Yeah.
I told you a lot of German Nazis, they fled to South America, Brazil included.
Hmm.
And I wouldn't say it's possible, but it would be a crazy cover up. It would be why would he come back and say that though?
I don't know, but the thing is, though, he was suffering from Parkinson's at the very end of the war, so people with Parkinson's have a very low like life expectancy once they get diagnosed. Like they only have like 20 plus years to live, I
Yeah,
believe.
I call bullshit. I call bullshit. If I'm Hitler, I'm not gonna say that. Many years later, I'm not gonna come out and be
But
like,
you know what's
"Hey,
funny?
you
That
missed."
yeah, that the Soviets like after World War II, they claimed that we have Hitler's skull. We Hitler's dead. They burned him, and someone did a DNA test, and they're like, no, this isn't Hitler. You're all wrong. And the Soviets had to cover everything up.
Wow.
So I believe he escaped. I would like to think he didn't like. I don't say I like to think, but I would believe it. I'm a skeptical person, so I would believe it if he did flee. If he just if he fled under the cover of night.
It would be
And
very difficult for him to do so. We were all up in that bitch, and by all up in that bitch, we had him surrounded,
mm-hmm.
and it would be difficult. So I googled Argentina Hitler, and what came up is something completely different. I couldn't find a picture of the guy, but there was a huge. This is the caption: Hitler bust among Argentina's biggest haul of Nazi
Oh
artifacts found
yeah,
in secret room.
yes.
So that's nuts.
Someone, Alex Jones was reporting on that like before like it came out in the mainstream media. And yes, I watch Alex Jones occasionally, for those who are wondering. But yeah, he said something about that. He's like, yeah, what? Oh, give me a second. God damn it. Um, Jesus Christ. Um, but yeah, like they were talking about how he he just sent a lot of shit to Argentina and South America.
I don't think it's possible. I don't think he's alive. I'm pretty sure a lot of high officials had the opportunity to leave, but besides that, the man himself, I don't think so.
Uh, so your thoughts on 9/11? Inside job, the act of terror, both.
Uh, Inside job could be marked as could be labeled as a terrorist act. What is the proper term? Um,
Foreign terrorist attack.
no. If it's an inside job, and people, and if you really believe the United States did it, there's a proper term. It's home terrorism, or what is it? Domestic terrorism. That's it. That's what it would be labeled as if years from now they do find out that it's possible, man. Like I've seen some crazy pictures, bro. I'm not ruling it out. We have the conversation? Oh, this is a good story right here. So I'm going to GameStop to trade my games, right? 10 games for $2. I I fucking get there, and I've known this dude for a minute, and I don't know how the topic got started, but he said he might be talking out of his ass too. But he said that I think a relative, I think his aunt, worked in the World Trade Center, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that day, 9/11, some of the emergency staircases were shut, and the daycare was closed that day.
Huh.
Now, this is an edifice that held how many people? Like a few, like
Thousand, a few.
5,000?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I think
yeah, a lot
and
of fucking
combined.
people. So we're
Yeah.
talking about maybe half of those people have, so maybe 2,500 of those people have kids, and they're in the daycare. And for the daycare to be closed that same day, so you're talking about 2,500 kids at home. That's a little sketchy. That's what made me feel, you know what? That cannot be a coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I'm not ruling it out. I think there's a definite possibility that is true. What do you think?
I think it was like from all the proof I've seen. I think it was an inside job. It was. I think it was our government and the Saudi government working together to help
What's
industrial
the common goal?
to take out governments in Iraq and Pakistan and whatnot. Uh, for George W. Bush, I think it was Iraq, and he just used Pakistan as another, as just another tool. But obviously, it was for economic gain. Like Saudis got control of oil probably, and they're our biggest oil import, I should say. Um,
With
but
the this is the thing. And this is backing up that it might be true that it was an inside job or domestic terrorism, whatever you want to label it as. This is the thing. The technology back in the day could have totally prevented what happened.
Mhm.
Completely. Mind you, they had warnings too. Like it's proven that they had warnings. They didn't listen to it. I think it was in '94 where the dude blew up the garage in the World Trade Center.
I
They
thought it
also
was
had
like
warnings.
not,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? And it's just for them to ignore that. It's just like, really?
Well, you know what's funny? I think the day before they had like a terror watch on this Chilean group or Bolivian group. Like like there's a bunch of terrorists down in South America. They had a warning on them.
Now, were these like Hispanics or were these Middle Eastern folks down there?
I think there was just like an anti-government coup going on. That they were very like they showed signs of terrorism.
Wow. Well, yeah, I think it was prevented. I think is I don't know. It's a fucked up situation really because it was 100% preventable for sure, for sure. Because it's not like I'm talking about I'm talking about, dude, is that it wasn't something might happen to the World Trade Center towers. Their warning was dudes are gonna fly a plane into the towers.
I
You
like
know
how
what I mean? It
I
was
like
that
how
descriptive that they just decided to ignore it, and it's bullshit.
I like how months before the owner of the Twin Towers took out an insurance policy, and then he fought in court because it was two separate terror attacks, and he got like billions of dollars.
Money.
Yeah, but I think for George W. Bush, I think the ultimate goal was to kill Saddam Hussein because Saddam Hussein did try have an assassination plot on his father.
So instead of throwing the world into World War III, it was easier to blame one specific guy for the horrendous act he just did. That's what you mean? Because
Yeah,
if he had zero reason and just we got to take this guy out, and they did it, the world would be not what it is today.
well,
So he had a scapegoat. He's like, this is a great reason.
the whole WMD too. Like how he said, "Oh, Saddam has WMDs in Iraq," and the UN went in and found no WMDs.
It wasn't WMDs. He had chemical weapons.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
he said WMDs, but
yeah. Well, he was a
chemical
blubbering
weapons.
idiot.
Yeah, yeah.
He could not speak worth shit.
Should we get into the point that if Saddam was still in power, ISIS wouldn't exist?
Oh yes. If Gaddafi was still in power, fucking there would be no terrorist attacks in fucking in Europe right now. Gaddafi was very anti-terrorist, and he got put into place by Reagan back in the 80s. Reagan put him in place, and Gaddafi was like, okay, I'm just going to focus on the fucking people coming from the Middle East, trying to get into Europe, and just stopping them. He said to the UN, like, I am a wall, and if you take me out of power, that the wall will be thrown down, like be busted, and you will have hordes of refugees and terrorists coming into your countries.
Wow.
And we fucking killed him. And
Here we are today.
yeah, here we are today, and look at how many terrorist attacks that go on in fucking Europe
And
today.
this is where you put that map we were talking about a month ago or so, with all the terrorist attack in Europe.
hmm And acid attacks have risen about 500% in the UK.
Acid attacks?
Yes, and it's very common for Muslims to throw acid in women's faces for not wearing a hijab
Oh
or
yeah.
or niqab. And then 1 in 4 women will be raped in Sweden because of the current situation. So
Explain that, because like you can't have a family of 4 women and then one of them gets raped. That doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? It's like the
yeah,
1 in 4 women in college. Is it 1 in 4 or 1 in 8?
it's 1 in 4. They try and throw the 1 in 3 now, but it's bullshit. But my thing is, it's that they're going off of statistical data, and sometimes, and in Sweden, I think it's like if you get raped twice, it counts as 2 different reports. Like, so a guy can rape you twice in one night, and it's 2 different reports or accounts of rape. And it's weird. Their law system is very weird in Sweden, but yeah, I think it counts like 1 in 4 women, and the one woman could be raped like 3 times separately, but it'll still count as 1 in 4. But the rape numbers are going up, and it's
Sounds like
unbelievable.
Europe needs to get their shit together.
Yeah, but yeah, like Saddam, if he was still alive, I think
Different
I
world we
think
be living in right now, man.
yes.
Maybe a little
And
bit safer.
and I like what Trump's doing. He's like, all right, we're not going to be in the business of regime change anymore. We're going to help out these regimes, but we're going to call them out and sanction them when they're bullshit. Like, remember that gas attack, that sarin gas attack that happened like in April in Syria?
Yeah, killed a bunch of little kids, and yeah, I watched all of that.
That was a false flag. Or if it wasn't a false flag, it was a
You
attack
mean
by the
the
rebels.
gas attack that made us bomb an airfield?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because there was a couple of gas attacks. One like almost back to back. I think it was a couple of weeks different. But what about it?
It was a false flag, or if it was real, let's just say it's real. It was caused by the rebels that we fund, because we gave them a shit. Once we got into Iraq and whatnot, we gave them a shit ton of chemical weapons. Or it
You mean
was either
Obama
Iraq
did?
or Libya. I think it was Libya. When Hillary Clinton like liberated Libya, she gave a shit ton of fucking chemical weapons to fucking back rebels in Syria.
Yep.
And it was
Money, man.
yeah, but the way I call it a false flag is that you in the pictures, and anyone can go look up the pictures of the Japanese. There was a sarin gas attack in Japan in a subway in like 1990 something, and they were in like hazmat suits on hazmat suits. They were in like 2 different hazmat suits with like fucking gloves like 5 inches thick. Because if you touch it, you're gonna be fucked.
Tokyo sarin
Or
attack, 1995.
yeah, it was a Japanese sarin gas attack.
Wow.
And if you look at the pictures, they are in like 2, like they're in layers of.
It looks staged as a motherfucker. I'll tell you that right now.
What, the Japanese one?
Yeah, it looks bad. Like they pose for it, dude. Like you talking like the current picture I'm looking at has two dudes in orange hazmats,
Yes.
and then one dude in well, there's one dude right up front, and then two in the back. It looks really staged.
And now look at the ones from Syria. They looked even worse. The
No, that
people
shit was fucked up. You seen the videos? That was definitely not
they're
staged.
actors. They're Soros paid actors.
You mean the little kids are actors, bro? Because these
Yeah.
kids are like foaming at the mouth and they're just
You know
puking
that
their
little
guts
kid
out
that
and
was
shit.
you know that kid that was in the picture with all like the fucking dust on him and all that from
Let me
Syria?
guess. He was in the New Jersey shooting.
No. What was that?
These kids can't be actors, man.
No. There was a kid that was during the Obama administration, he used this picture to justify bringing in refugees. He's like, "Oh, look at this kid. He survived a blast from a bomb. He's like covered in fucking soot and
Oh, that
whatnot."
kid. That kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was an actor. He came out and said, "Yeah, I was paid." Or well, the father came out and said he was paid to have his kid stage this, basically, or the media staged it. The white helmets you see in a lot of these videos, they are
That's
funded by
Hollywood.
George Soros.
Yeah. Wow.
So I think it was just an attempt to get Trump to backpedal on his anti-involvement in the Middle East agenda.
Backpedal. He fucking nosedived into it. And he's gonna continue to do so, man.
Well, that's why he needs to get out of the realm of regime change. He needs to support Assad, and he's doing it. He stopped funding these moderate, quote unquote, Syrian rebels that are becoming ISIS and becoming just jihadis.
Mm-hmm.
We need I don't understand. Like Hillary Clinton wanted to throw us into World War III by setting up a trying to think of the word no-fly zone in Syria, and that would have inevitably shot down a Russian jet, and that would have thrown us into World War III with Russia.
I mean, we've had multiple scenarios recently, and by recently I mean like the last 6 months that could have thrown us into World War III without the help of Hillary. It's just how Trump handled it that it pretty much saved us. Like Russia flying over Alaska multiple times for no reason. You know what I mean? I think
I don't
that
remember that, but yeah, go ahead.
you don't remember, look it up. And we're not saying oh no fly zone. Russia is the one that's pushing for no fly zones. Didn't they threaten us recently? They said that they established a no fly zone, and even if an American plane were to cross that zone, they would shoot us down.
We came to a ceasefire in Syria, so I don't know.
I mean, thanks to that meeting recently, but
Yeah, the
it
G20.
was before that. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I believe the Russia-U.S. tensions have died down a lot, but it's not with no thanks to the fucking press.
No, the media wants elsewise. They want something different.
Yeah, the Russia thing is selling, and it
Yep.
has been selling for the last 6 months.
For the last 30 years, dude.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? Mitt Romney said, "Oh, Russians are during the 2012 campaign debate." Mitt Romney's like, "Oh, Russia's our biggest political foe," and Obama's like, huh, "So 1980s are calling Mitt. They said they want their foreign policy back." It's my horrible Obama impersonation, but
I got it.
if you like your doctor, you can keep him.
The drone prince.
But yeah, so I don't understand why Russia is such the political enemy now to the mainstream media. They 1980s are calling, man.
Yeah, because it sells. I think that the media is the person to thank for all this fear inflicted in like your average American that Russia is the enemy.
Back in the 1950s and 60s, we had an actual fear.
We had
of
an actual
nuclear.
problem, but
Yeah,
since
there.
then,
My dad had to go through duck and cover scenarios for a nuclear fucking bomb. I don't have to do that today. I mean, we have to do shooter drills, but that's because of the lack of fucking mental fucking strength in our country now. But that's different.
is that gonna hurl us into gun control?
Yeah, might as well.
What's your view?
Give everyone a fucking gun. Crime will drop by 50%.
Everybody?
Yes,
No,
because
so
here's the thing.
you're against the popular vote for comprehensive background checks.
Here's my thing.
It's your
It,
right.
yes,
It's
it's not. I'm
undeniable.
not even going to say that. Who was robbed during the L.A. riots back in
Uh,
1990 or 98? I should
Robbed
say.
of what?
Who? What stores were looted?
How about every store?
How
Whether
about
it's big stores or family owned businesses.
how about the ones that didn't have Koreans on the rooftops with rifles or in front of their stores with pistols?
There were Koreans.
The Koreans defended their shops with guns and no one fucking robbed them. You
How
could
big
look
is
up
the
the
Korean
video.
population in LA?
It's pretty big. But like the meme is the rooftop Koreans. Like they were on their fucking rooftops with fucking high powered rifles, ready to shoot anyone that got close to their fucking business. No one robbed them. In Ferguson, recently, like past 2 years, when the rioting was going on for that fucking Michael Brown.
So it's safe to say that giving out guns it's not going to do any worse, and it's not going to do well. It's probably going to do better because people will be able to protect themselves regardless.
Who
Um,
are who are you gonna rob at night? The person with a gun strapped to their waist, or someone that's anti-gun?
you wouldn't know.
All right.
That's a bad question. You got to reward that because you
Who,
don't know if the person has a gun. You know what I mean? Even if they're giving guns left and right. So, personally, if I knew, I would rob the guy without it.
yes. If you knew that the guy did not have a gun on him, you would rob him instead of the one that has a gun.
Yep, for sure.
All right. And here's a better scenario. If you're a rioter, if you're a looter, what store are you gonna loot first? The one that has
With
no
the
one in it and that's open, or would
or
you
with the
rob the
Korea on the roofs with
yeah,
fucking skeletonized AR-15s.
or the one with the big black dude that has a machete and it's dressed up as Batman? In Ferguson, that's what happened. There was a guy in front of his store dressed up as Batman with a big ass machete.
Was he
No one,
black? Because my
yeah, he
question
was.
was gonna be, why is the black guy with a machete, and why are you saying black guy with a machete, or like what was he defending something?
He was defending his store. He had a machete in the front door. Like had his, he was
He
standing outside of his store with a
dressed as
fucking.
Batman?
Yeah, I got. Yeah, they called him like Machete Batman or Black Batman. I forget what they
You
called
have
him.
to find that picture and you have to put it as the what's that called?
That
The
was,
the image for your video.
yeah, the
That's
fucking
crazy, man.
the clickbait.
Yeah, I'm not robbing that guy.
Yeah, you're not gonna fuck with him. Even a machete is a deterrent. It's risk versus reward, man. The risk is robbing someone. If they have a gun, then the reward is death.
Yeah. So to get us back on track, I think that you should own a gun, but taking guns away from people will only increase the possibility of you getting killed by a bad guy with a gun, because they're always gonna fucking have guns. Just because you're like, let's ban them, doesn't mean that they're not gonna have any. You know what I mean?
Mhm. I'm trying to find this picture now, but having a gun is the biggest deterrent. Like, if a mentally ill person comes at you, you obviously it's the great equalizer.
So should they make it easier, or should they comprehensive background checks, but not necessarily ban it?
I mean, background checks seem like reasonable. It's just that it's one step. That step fucking brings it closer to banning them. If you just give everyone a gun, then I feel like no one would be robbing stores if they knew the owner had a shotgun under the fucking desk.
You're right.
Um, I'm trying to think of. All right, and here's the thing though. In Spain, this currently, well, it was like yesterday. Apparently, there was this fucking jihadi with a knife coming at border guards, and they didn't shoot the fucker. And they ended up using a plastic barrier to disarm him. They threw a plastic barrier at him, hit him in the head, and
And this
disarmed
is
him.
Spain. What's
Huh?
the what's
It
gun
was in
control like in
Spain.
Spain?
What?
What's gun control like in Spain?
I don't know. I feel like it's pretty strict.
I mean, there's other ways to disarm people.
Yeah, well,
How what was the? Give me some context. Like, where was it?
I was on the border of Morocco and Spain.
Because police currently in the United States, they're not as trained as they should be. If there's a guy with a knife, machete, or whatever, there's beanbag rounds. You know what I mean? You take a couple of those to the chest, you're done, dude. I don't care if you're 600 pounds or 130-pound female, you're done. And for you to have the means, I mean, there are certain situations where you're not gonna, oh snap, let me go in my trunk and get a beanbag shotgun. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I just think that the lack of training is just insane. So for them to use that, I'm completely for it, man. If you can save a life and properly throw this guy into the justice system, cool.
I have to fact check myself here and correct myself. It wasn't Ferguson. All right, there's a bunch of what do you call it? There's a bunch of corrections here. It wasn't Ferguson. It was Baltimore when Freddie Gray was killed, and that it was an all-out riot. All right, so it's the same situation. It's a riot. The dude wasn't black. He's like a 275-pound white guy, built like a shit brick house, and he was guarding his boss's liquor store
With what?
with a machete.
Okay.
That's the only thing I got right.
Did they killed him?
No, he survived.
Okay.
They didn't fuck with him.
Oh, so the Batman dude is a white dude.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's built like a shit brick house, like just weight in general, not muscle. And he wasn't even dressed as Batman. He was wearing a mask. He was wearing like a surgeon's mask, so he didn't get pepper sprayed in the face or tear gassed. But it's like, cover your eyes. Fuck. I don't understand the purpose of a surgeon mask.
What else do you have for me? Because I've been kind of taking the direction of the interview here.
All right, let's talk about pop culture for a second and video games, since it's your forte.
Yep.
How do you feel about the SJW influence, social justice warrior influence on video games currently?
I don't know much about that. You're talking about the keyboard warriors?
No, social justice warriors like feminists, white knights, people that want like racial diversity in games, feminists that want more women in games and women less sexualized in games.
If it's, I'm a big history geek, not as much as you, but I do like my history. So if it's historically accurate and it's not, I don't want to say depicting anyone negatively, but depicting somebody or a group of folks inaccurately, I'm against it. But if we're talking about Prince of Persia and everybody looks fucking Asian as shit, it doesn't make any sense. Do I make myself clear?
Yeah, and I'll give you some context here. In the new Call of Duty game coming out, World War II, in multiplayer, they have character customization, and on both sides,
I'm for it. I already know where you're getting this. If it means creating a character that looks like you and it's not historically accurate,
no,
so
it's
what?
not that. It's not that. It's way worse. It's way worse.
What do you mean?
In the character customization on both sides, you can make your character a black female German soldier or American soldier.
So I guess it really doesn't matter if it's a storyline or multiplayer.
It's multiplayer. I know that people say, "Oh, it doesn't matter.
Wait,
it's just multiplayer."
Are you? Does it push your buttons that this is an option?
It annoys me to a point, but I'm not going to go out and freak out over it. I'm not going to be one of the overreactors. I'm just going to say, all right, that's kind of bullshit. I'm not going to play it. Done. I mean, I may play for the storyline, but I'm not gonna go out and spend $60 at launch or $100 at launch.
Okay.
I'll wait.
I don't think it like I see your point of view, but that's not the type of stuff that's gonna make me not want to play a game. I guess they're just giving players opportunity to really immerse themselves into the game. But that's not, I don't know. I wouldn't say that's the right way to do it.
I wouldn't even call that immersion. That's
It is though.
black female Germans. That's the opposite of immersion. That's historically inaccurate.
It's historically inaccurate because women couldn't even join the military, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, on the Russian side, they had one fucking battalion, and people are like, "Oh, add women," and that's what Battlefield did.
I don't think that's what they were going for. I think they were just trying to appeal to the players and saying, "Hey, if you're a black female, you can play as a black female," but that's about it.
That's exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to appeal they're trying to get a female audience now, and I think it'll cost them in the long run.
I mean, you're the type of guy that shit will turn you off and you won't buy the game for. I'm just like whatever, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, if
you'd have to be some type of ignorant to not know that the majority of the German population is just white, blonde, blue eyes, and then some folks who have like black hair, but the black population in Germany is, look it up, Dago. Look, let's back this up.
Well, today the black population is out of control. That's the wrong way to say it, but it's not what it was in 1939.
It's not out of control, Dago. It's just larger than it used to be. Shit. There's a proper way to say things, man.
I don't give a shit. I'm controversial. Just note people watching this, my views do not reflect the average Brook Gamer's views. You can go subscribe to them.
Oh shit! Look at this. Look at this. This is a Yahoo search, right? I have to change my fucking search engine to Google. Fuck Yahoo. But listen, Yahoo search. I type in black population in Germany. First thing that comes up: Black Lives Matter. Christian dataresources.com. It has nothing to do with what I searched.
Yeah, Yahoo. It's out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, and if you look at in World War I too, there with Battlefield 1 on the German army, they have a black sniper, they have a black recon class, and there was only about 3 blacks in the German army in World War I, and they were all part of like 3 out of the 4, or 4 out of the 5. I forget what number I originally said. They were all in the marching band.
Okay, just to give you some context, there is an actual thing called Afro-Germans, and the population is 500,000. Just putting that out there.
I don't think that's not even the population of fucking Maine.
That's possible. It's barren, parts of it.
I don't know that but I feel like you were around for Gamergate. You were like me. You didn't pay attention to it at the time it happened, but you obviously feel the effects of it.
1.3 million people in Maine.
Yeah, so it's
fucking
half of that.
Half.
Yeah. But we feel the after effects of Gamergate. I didn't pay attention to it. I probably should have. But Sargon of Akkad, very big YouTuber. I respect him, and a lot of people do. And he's a good YouTuber. He's very center of the road. He's anti-SJW. So if that makes him right wing, that makes him right wing. But he's very liberal. He respects free speech, and he never tries to silence someone's free speech. If that feels like a Sargon of Akkad, promo, then so be it. But he was very anti-Gamergate. And Anita Sarkeesian, who was very pro-Gamergate, who wanted more women in video games and women less sexualized, like Lara Croft, they had a little clash at VidCon. You know what that is, right? I may have to explain for those who may not know.
Explain it.
VidCon is a convention held every year in Anaheim for YouTubers and their fans, and they do panels and whatnot. So Sargon of Akkad and other anti-SJWs YouTubers and commentators went to this harassment online seminar that had Anita Sarkeesian there, or Women on YouTube. I forget. I think it was Women on YouTube. And she called him out. He was in the front row because he was one of the first people there. And she called him out and called him a garbage human, just because he did videos on her. So
freedom of the press. Go on.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But she was abusing her power. He was like, I'm here to listen. That's all he was. It's like, I'm just here to listen. Go on.
Well,
and then
if you've noticed, this is a generation of very opinionated folks, and labeling and this and that. So it's bound to happen. You say you feel the effects still. How so? Oh, you're talking about like COD and stuff?
I'm talking about Call of Duty. I'm talking about Battlefield. I'm talking about whatever.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily bother me. Like, it doesn't make me like uncomfortable in my chair. It's just kind of like, I just shrug my shoulders at it, and I'm like, it has come to that, really? Like, until it's so bad that I can't swallow it. I'm just. I
mean, the gameplay of Call of Duty itself will deter me. I already saw some gameplay, and it wasn't even a trailer. It wasn't even a gameplay trailer. It wasn't like
it was actual game footage. It wasn't.
It was actual. Like, and I got secondhand from this guy talking about the black female thing from COD, or the SJW thing in COD, and I'm like, that's a fucking holographic site on a BAR. Get the fuck out of here.
It's like, I hate to bring this back, but it's like the gays. It doesn't bother me. It's just I'm letting it be until it makes me feel uncomfortable, and it makes me feel like maybe you guys are pushing it too far. But right now, it just looks like they're listening to the folks and giving them what they want, you know?
Well, my thing is, though, is that I'm not going to buy it. I thought I was going to buy it, but I'm like, and the SJW thing wasn't my deterring factor from buying it. The determining factor of it was the gameplay. I saw the gameplay, and I'm like, ugh. Like, I just got disgusted at the gameplay. It looked shitty. It was World War II. But
it might be too early. I don't know.
I mean, I'll play the beta.
I haven't looked into it because you know me. I haven't really dedicated my time to Call of Duty since Modern Warfare 3.
Exactly, same here.
Ryan, it's not bothering me. Like,
I'm not gonna buy
whatever.
It. Like, if the next Battlefield gets to the point where I can't swallow the gameplay and I can't swallow the stupid concepts they put into it, then I won't buy it. That's how capitalism works. When EA Sports announced that NHL 15 hockey, when NHL 15 would not have a mode I loved and I played with a lot of friends with, I didn't buy it. I boycotted EA. It was around Battlefield 4's launch too. It was around that same time. I boycotted EA for 1 whole year. All right, they didn't get any of my money. They didn't get any of my parents' money. All right, so I just didn't play EA games, and that was my choice. Did they suffer? No. Did I suffer? Not really, because I wasn't playing a game that was infuriating me. But then after a year passed, they put back the game mode I liked, and I started playing EA games again. So that's how boycotts work, and that's how capitalism works. You're muted, by the way.
What the fuck? My bad. I think, what I was saying while I was muted is that you would have to move a mountain of people to pull off a successful boycott today.
Yes. Or all you need is a social media campaign, people to fucking hop on it like a fucking bunch of banshees.
For sure.
I'm going to go into a little bit of YouTube drama since that always seems to fucking get views. Even though I'm a political channel, but I really don't give a shit anymore. Jake Paul.
Fake news or?
No. Like, I'm just going into drama news on YouTube. Jake Paul. Have you heard about him at all?
I haven't. This is remind me, because I might have briefly heard it and not gave a shit.
Okay, so I don't know if you remember Vine, like last year or 2 years ago. Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. So these Viners, they get big fucking heads. They get big egos. They get big followings. Once Vine dies, they mostly go to YouTube. So Jake Paul and Logan Paul, two brothers, they get a lot of views. They get a lot of money, and now they decide to go into the rap game,
What?
and they make fucking trash. They
So what's the drama?
Well, so it all started with Jake Paul's song "It's Everyday, Bro," which had garbage lyrics. Like, I just dropped new merch. It's selling like a god church. And this one Brit that said, "No, I'm not from Compton. I keep it poppin'. England is my city. And if it weren't for Team 10, blah blah blah." He said England was his fucking city. That's the point of that whole lyric.
Well,
So
remember the conversation that we had months ago that you go on the internet, you can find anything that's gonna back up your crazy ideas and shit. Well, this is just an example that anybody on the internet can make it. Because you said the other dude's name is Jake or something?
Jake Paul and Logan Paul.
Okay, I know Logan Paul. That name is familiar. It's tall white dude, right?
Yeah, blonde
Yeah,
fucking hair.
exactly. Tall blonde white dude.
And
His comedy, for lack of better words, because whatever he does it's not comedy. It's shit.
it's shitty vlogs. Let's call them that.
It's crap. It's like the stupidest shit I've ever seen on the internet. Him, King Bach, and all these other little fucking people. I think it's trash, man. I think they're killing comedy because that's what they like to call themselves. I think it's comedy and entertainment. I think it's crap.
And now they're killing rap.
Yeah,
and now they're killing hip hop, man.
They're getting there too.
Yes.
And I think it's just like I was telling you, you can go on the internet right now and find crazy amounts of content that's just remember Rebecca Black?
Yeah.
That's what the world has come to.
I think this is worse than Rebecca Black because Rebecca Black was just her song was popular because it was shitty.
She died out, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But like Jake Paul's song, some people actually thought it was good. And I mean now and create like Logan Paul versus Jake Paul. I'll
have to listen to it to make like to give you my intelligent opinion. But currently, I don't like him, and from what I hear, it sounds like trash, and people are just focusing their attention on stupid shit. And we shouldn't give them this credit right here.
All right. So I understand that. It's just that it makes money. All right. If I can bring in one extra view by having Jake Paul in the fucking title, then it's worth it. I'm sorry. Came this far to see the Jake Paul talk. I apologize.
You should title the video "Jake and Logan Paul are trash."
Oh my god, I would get so much fucking hate by the Jake Paul.
We're talking death threats, dude.
Yeah, dude, like bunch of little fucking 12-year-olds. Oh my god, if that. But so Keemstar, he's a very big he runs Drama Alert. I don't know if you know him, but
no,
he's like I really want to stop talking about Jake and Logan Paul bullshit because they're trash. I don't want to give them this attention, but it makes me money, and man's got to eat. So
that's real talk right there.
So now there is this house called they call it Team 10. That's his posse, and it's like this big ass mansion in the Hollywood Hills, and he used to be on Disney too. I'll remind you that. So his neighbors started complaining about him because he fucking made a fire in an empty pool, in his emptied pool, and it was like fucking a story high, and fire in California, in Southern California, is dangerous. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, this dry
wildfires. Oh my god. So the neighbors started complaining about them, and then it just started this whole thing where he went to go to the neighbors to talk to them, and he recorded them, which gets him an eavesdropping lawsuit against him, and then people started swatting his house, calling fire department in his house. It's just ridiculous what's going on with him, and Disney and him had a quote unquote mutual agreement that he would be leaving the show mid-season.
I mean, he fucked that up for himself. What can I say?
Oh yeah, obviously. It's just that he's going to have a lot of lawsuits against him, and the neighbors are trying to get him kicked out, trying to get him kicked out of the community, trying to, you know,
He's a
all this
fucking danger,
bullshit.
man.
He is, and I really want someone. You've never heard of these people because they're not really mainstream YouTubers, but I think they're mainstream enough to like to get someone's ear like twerked a little bit or whatever dogs do.
I probably don't know him. I follow like
All right,
4 people on YouTube.
yeah. Well, iDubbbz TV, you probably haven't heard of him.
Nope.
Filthy Frank
Nope.
and Max Mofo.
No, I thought you were gonna say
Yeah,
Max Miller.
no, no.
Mac Miller. My bad.
Hold on. Before I go into that, he also doxed what's his fucking Post Malone,
I've heard of that name, and
rapper,
I've
white
heard some
rapper.
like some funny shit. But tell me about him.
Post Malone.
Wait,
What?
was he in Disney at one point?
No. Post Malone's a rapper. He White Iverson and Congratulations are his two biggest songs.
I want to know why I associate him with Disney for some reason.
I don't know either. So he's very big. He's friends with another big YouTuber. His name's Ethan Klein, H3H3. He does a lot of commentary too. So Post Malone was on H3H3's podcast the other day and was trash talking Jake Paul's songs. And then a couple days after, Post Malone buys a lot of Jake Paul merch. So Jake Paul contacts a company that does his merch, gets the address of Post Malone, vlogs his house and the surrounding houses and the house number, goes to Post Malone's house and delivers the merch, and basically docks him, shows all like millions of his followers where Post Malone lives. So
Wow.
it's dangerous for Post Malone.
I gonna care. I don't care about these people, man. I think that society is at a decline right now with Logan Paul, Post Malone,
Well, no,
all
Post Malone is a legitimate rapper. He came from the bottom. Like he's a legitimate come from the bottom, and he's one of the top rappers. Now he was very
I've
independent.
never heard of him. Well, I've heard of him. I associate him with Disney, but I have no
He's
idea
no
why.
he's no person to be with Disney. He's the opposite of Disney material. Like he's the after effects of Disney, but he
Is
was
he
never with
decent?
Disney. Huh?
Is he decent?
Oh, he's a good rapper. I like him.
I gotta listen to him then.
Like his big song right now is "Congratulations" with Quavo.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, he's very grassroots. Like,
I listened to Bob Dylan, dude.
all right. We also
Yeah,
listen to trap music. I'll remind you also listen to The Weeknd.
yeah, but that's because he sounds like Michael Jackson, but his lyrics are different.
Yeah. So he's getting swatted. He's having prankers around his house. It's funny. It's gonna be the fall of Jake Paul, hopefully. But people like iDubbbz, like these people are satirical comedians. They make fun of them. Like look up iDubbbz. He's very funny. He does these content cops on people and he just ruins their fucking careers.
On cops?
No, content cop. He acts like a cop and he like goes
Oh,
through
okay.
people's he dissects people's videos and he's like, "Oh, you're garbage because you say the same shit, you do the same shit, and you don't do anything productive for YouTube." And he just ruins people's careers.
How many subscribers does he have?
I would say 1 million and some.
Okay, so he's original.
Yeah, he's very original. He does original content. He does gross shit, so I would stay away from that. But other than that, you should be
Give me
fine.
just an example.
Vomit cake.
Yeah, that sounds nasty, bro.
There were 3 vomit cake videos. He and the other 2 people I mentioned before. One of them, the second one involved him shaving his head, and they baked the cake with his hair.
A lot of free time, a lot of bullshit on the internet, I guess.
Well, it was a collaboration.
Wow.
They go to Australia often.
Let's move on from this, bro.
Huh? All right.
Next
I mean,
question.
I really don't know. I'm trying to think how to segue into another question here.
Do you have another question?
I think we covered all the topics I wanted to cover. Is there anything you wanted to cover?
I think to summarize is that I say a lot of dumb shit, but it may not come as well, what's the proper word here that CNN uses? Politically correct, but it is what it is. You know, it's the way we think, and everybody has their opinions.
Yeah, and
And I look forward to doing more of this, man, because with our president, there's gonna be lots to talk about.
oh yeah, and I have to give this caveat. Like I said previously in the video, if you don't agree with him, don't like give him hate on his channel. If he does, the average pro gamer.
No, I'm not that type of guy. Like currently, like I told you, I follow 4 dudes, right?
Yeah.
Three of them are fishing channels, and one of them is this dude who he owns a ranch. Like he was able to get him and his wife out of debt, and he bought like this fucking giant
Is that the
piece of
one?
land.
Is that the one you linked in the chat?
Yeah, he's fucking unbelievable, dude. So there are certain videos that I don't agree with what he says or what another person does, and I don't dislike him, but I also don't like him. You know what I mean? Like I'll watch the video open-minded. If I like it, I'll like it, and if I really like it, I'll favor it so I can watch it like in the future again. But I'm not that type of dude to like go around YouTube's fucking spreading hate. Because everyone, like I was saying earlier, everybody has their own fucking opinions, and if I don't agree with them, I'm not gonna bash you for it. I'll probably call you a dumbass, but that's about it.
Yeah. So to anyone watching, if you don't like technically agree or basically agree with the average pro gamer, but if you go to his
No
channel,
hate.
no hate. But if you go to his channel and like his videos, please subscribe to him. And if you're new to my channel and like my videos, subscribe to me. If you don't agree with me, I'll be willing to have a discussion with you. I'm very grassroots. I only have 6 fucking subscribers. I want to have a discussion with people I disagree with. But you know how hard that is in today's climate?
I disagree with you with some shit, and I told you, and we had an intelligent conversation. So the key word is no hate. If you have nothing good to say, just constructive criticism all the way, man. There's too much hate in the world.
I'm always up for a reasonable discussion with someone, and I'm not gonna be like the Young Turks shank you or all. I'm just trying to discuss. That's bullshit. You're bullshit. Steven Crowder, I love. But yeah, I'm gonna try and reach out to some people on Twitter that are pretty grassroots. So maybe the average pro gamer and I can tandem an interview on someone.
Hell yeah, dude! I would look forward to that.
There's someone on Twitter I'm particularly I'm gonna try and work on from here on out.
Do it.
You know who? I already
know who.
All right,
you should do it.
But yeah, there's gonna be other people I'm friends with on like PlayStation, and I used to go to school with. I'll probably have on here.
Hell
yeah, that's gonna be it for today, guys. I'm gonna have my Twitter and Instagram links in the description. The Average Bro Gamer's Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook in the description. All right.
I don't have Twitter, man.
Okay, so it's Instagram and Facebook.
Yep.
And
my YouTube channel, man. Put that shit.
Oh
down.
yeah. Well, yeah. Obviously, obviously, that goes without saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I'll probably have some different links in the description to certain videos or whatever. But don't forget to like, subscribe, comment on both of our channels,
and share all the fucking way.
Yeah, and if you subscribe, turn on notifications. You'll be the first one to see everything. Share it with your friends, etc. And remember to stay free out there, everyone.